Still hurts today, right? Does it get easier?
I think over the years, it never really probably gets easier. As far as if you lose somebody that, you're really close to it in such a unexpected way, I think it's hard, and I don't think you ever, you don't ever really feel that.
Here's the guys. It's most of the crew, and here's Clay and Gavin. They were such clowns. This was the whole group at the Brewer game. So here's Clay and here's Gavin. They seem to always be right with each other. It just seems like a different life. It was a different life.
Kenosha is a pretty diverse place. It's right on the lake. It's like 100,000 people, so it's not a small city, but it feels like you kind of know everybody. I think everyone would agree it's a good place to grow up for sure. Right now we are going to see Felicia, who is Clay's mom, one of my really good friends, and she's basically like a second mom to me, honestly. Kind of our whole friend group. She's always checking in on everybody and always making sure everybody's always good, so I'm actually really excited to see her. So I'm looking forward to it. All right. Dang, they got a little trailer now, too? Or RV home? Sick. All right. Made it. Oh. Yo.
Hi.
What up?
Come in.
I haven't been here in a while.
It's been a minute.
What's going
It's all
on?
right.
You guys good?
Hi, I'm so happy to see you.
Good morning.
Hi.
How's it going? What's up, dog?
How are you?
Good? Morning. What's up, fellas? What's up? What's going on, bro?
It's been a minute.
You guys good? Sweet. What's going on?
That was nice last night, huh? What a blessing that I ended up having what I had all through Clay and the boys, right? Like, look at them. They're awesome, all of them. And the whole Gavin and the whole, good friends that I say about Clay's group, they're all amazing. And I love being with them because it just gives me a part of Clay. They were such a huge part of Clay's life. And I get to see what Clay would be doing. Just going through life and, having these serious girlfriends and growing up. And so I get to live through Clay through them. And it means everything. Clay, is today your birthday? Are you gonna be 2? How old are you gonna be?
Baby.
Who is that?
Babe.
I got pregnant when I was only 21. I was working full-time, raising this beautiful baby, and then my life got dramatically better when I met Joe. We were both young officers. We got hired just a couple months apart from each other.
At that time, I had two sons, one who was a few months old and the other was 2 years old. Felicia at that time had Clay.
Say thank you, everyone. Clay was a million miles an hour from the jump, from the very get-go.
Mom, I'm gonna go over there.
Okay, when it's our turn, we'll go. Say something to the camera.
Hi, Mom. Okay, go.
Even at 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, you know, people just gravitated towards him.
He was like the life of the party. You walk in a room and he's gonna be the funniest guy. He's gonna be the loudest guy. He's gonna be the guy cracking all the jokes, making everybody laugh. If you grew up around him, everybody would say the same thing. He was such a light in people's lives, and he would do anything for you, and he always would make sure everybody else was good. Old house is off 54th, right? Right here? And then one more
the
up
next
this way.
one. I would drive by there a couple times when I'm working out here. Yeah. Drive by it every now and then, but we haven't been inside it for years. I don't remember the last time. Basketball hoop on the right. Right here. Yep. Same basketball hoop and everything.
Same basketball.
That thing is rusted.
Said the backboard's broke.
What's that?
The backboard broke,
Oh!
but they put a new one over it.
Been there a long time.
It has.
You can see the year, though. Yeah, you can see the year. Oh, yeah, it's all Wisconsin winners.
Wisconsin
Break it down.
winners. On this court, like, you could try to talk crap back to him, but it just wasn't gonna work. Like, you would give him something and he'd clap right back with something even better, but he would just bully you mentally, physically on the court. It was like, you know, you can't win against him on the basketball court. Even if you are beating him, you're losing.
He would make up rules. Like, I just remember you guys playing, and like he would, you know, completely like double dribble or whatever, and then he'd be like, actually, no, that's okay in this one.
Yeah.
Like, wait, you can't.
He'd score and then it'd be like, okay, we're playing make it, take it now. Like, no, you don't. First to three, make it, take it. You can't just make that up out of nowhere.
Come on, get a step closer. Justin, cut.
We would play pickup basketball all the time, and he was like an okay basketball player. Like, he wasn't great by any means. He was just a good athlete, and he would talk so much to everybody.
Woo! Ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
We'd play 3-on-3, and he'd get the ball back, he'd get a bucket, and he's talking shit. He'd score again, he's talking shit. Even if he misses a layup, he's still talking shit. So it's just like never ending, like he's gonna run his mouth, he's gonna talk shit, and that's just, you know, that's Clay.
Where you going with it? Ooh, I'm on you now. Oh, Justin's got it! What's going on? This is crazy. This Olympic stuff. Where's you going? Woo, coming back. Just kidding. Oh, that was pretty. Did you see it?
A lot of the stuff we did was always athletic stuff. Football, baseball. He was a boxer. That was like his thing. Like, he really found a love for boxing.
I've been coaching 35 years. I have trained 3 national champions. And when I saw Clay, I said, this is my 4th national champion right here. We were getting ready for the Silver Gloves. He's boxing an older guy, and he hits him as hard as he can, and I just noticed that his hand was hurting.
He took off his glove, and you could see his hand immediately already swelling. So then we had to go to the hospital. The doctor came in and said that it is broken, and not only is it broken, but it's broken in enough places that he's gonna need surgery and screws.
Oh, he was fucking upset. He literally put his head on my shoulder and starts crying because he was working so hard for it. He was so devastated. He said, "Coach, I could go in there and fight with one hand." I said, "Yes, I know you could, but I just can't do it."
Let me see your hand. Hold your hand up. Turn it way.
Just talking to him, I remember he was just pretty upset about not being able to continue to do that at the time when he hurt his wrist.
Clay, come on. Yeah. I guess I would say it was something like something broke in him too. I feel like he lost a little bit of his light then. Now looking back, it's where it all shifted.
And here's the high school and middle school we all went to, right next to each other. Oh, man. Watched a lot of football games here.
Yep.
Didn't really play in any.
I did.
You ran track here.
Yeah, I ran track.
So he probably has more memories of actually doing stuff here, but
Yeah.
Every Friday nights coming here watching your buddies play, he got after it football. And that and boxing was definitely his thing, but he was a beast on the football field. He was no joke.
I think there was a lot of things going on, you know, you're changing so much. It's the end of your 8th grade year. You're getting ready to go into high school football finally, something that he's played his whole life basically, and he has this hand injury. He still wanted to show up and be the, you know, fastest, biggest, strongest kid there, and how do you do that with a broken hand? This is when Clay first started doing steroids.
He did take supplements and started having protein, so, you know, given hormonal changes, we didn't first look at the steroid aspect of it.
At the time, I don't think steroids was a thought. There might have been some other drug or some alcohol use. I remember being concerned looking back at it. It's hard for us as his friend group that we didn't kind of step in and say, "Hey man, like, let's keep you on the straight path."
A lot of parents would never think that their kids are doing steroids, especially boys that are athletes, because you're naturally just getting bigger as you're getting older. But he wanted to show up to football, freshman football, and be great and be who everybody knew Clay to be. So freshman football season started. I don't remember which game it was in though, but he ended up tearing his shoulder. What does it feel like?
Like my arm is not responding to anything that I say. It's like having a resistance band.
Those things consecutively, it was like he broke his hand. He's like, okay, if I can get through this, right, I can get back to competing, and then this happens. It's like, is this ever gonna end, really?
Are you nervous?
Are you serious? Am I nervous?
This really begins like a darker road, because now he's at home and he's like in our basement recovering, and that's a very long, hard recovery. And slowly but surely, I would say over that summer and then sophomore year, I see his good friends disappearing and his bad friends coming around more.
Even at school, we had some classes together, and I could kind of see him being a little more edgy and maybe a little more irritated easily. And looking back at it, I think we probably should have pulled him back in, and that's hard. It's tough to think about that.
During that time, I felt like I was standing on the edge of a shoreline, and I was watching Clay drowning, and I tried to throw him all these life rings, and he just wouldn't grab them. It just spiraled.
As adults, people are challenged with admitting they are depressed or have addiction. So expecting that from a 13 or 14-year-old kid, you know, it was very tough, and it makes me sad. To think that he had to go through that.
It was terrible. He was, I remember trying to talk to him. You know, we would all try to talk to him, and, you know, I was begging him to get help, and he would just look right through me. Look at me.
He was such a good athlete. Like, I feel like whatever he wanted to play and like be good at, like he would have been good at.
Absolutely.
Whether it was basketball, football, hockey, he probably would have been a really good hockey player.
Yeah, I tried to get him to do lacrosse.
Lacrosse?
Yeah, he would have been so
Like,
good.
I feel like he was just naturally really good at kind of everything he did, so that's just how it was, right? I mean.
Yeah.
I got the jersey.
It's awesome.
I know, can't you just see him in it?
I know, 44.
Absolutely.
Like that was his number for everything. So like, it's just, that was Clay, you know? I feel like I have it tattooed on me, like that's, you know, it symbolizes him to me, and like I see him running around in 44 right now. Like that was Clay.
I can just imagine him in it right now, just like that picture that we have printed out.
Yep.
Exactly. I can just see him in it right now, walking around, playing football.
Flying around. I'd always.
You look good in black and purple.
Yeah, he'd be like, this looks good. I look good, right? You know I look good, Mom. I'm like, stop, just go play the game. Saturday, June 21st, 2014. Clay is 16 years old, and he just finished his sophomore year of high school. It's a regular day at our house, and our family was gonna leave and go down to a local mall, and I had asked Clay, do you wanna go with us? And he said, no, I'm just gonna stay home and finish my laundry and take a shower, and I was like, okay, that's great.
We went to the mall, did our thing there, and I remember on the way back, it started to rain. I don't know why I remember that, but it started to rain. Me and my dad and Felicia, we went inside the house.
This was the time when he would like leave on weekends and not come home or just be gone, and I wouldn't know where he would be. And the house was all quiet, and so I thought, man, he's gone again, you know?
Felicia was, you know, asking and yelling for Clay. Hey, Clay, you know, where you at? We're home. And there was no answer, and she went upstairs to see if he was in his room. Soon after that, a horrible scream, and
I walked down to his bedroom, and then when I got to his bedroom, I found him on the floor dead. He had taken his life. And our whole world changed in a second.
There was nothing that I have seen or done in my career that had prepared me for that moment. Absolutely nothing. And it was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
I got a call from my dad. I could hear something in his voice to where he had been like crying. He said, "Jake, I just need you to come home." So I raced home. Dad came up to my car and said, Clay died. Sorry.
One of our buddies in our friend groups called me and said, "Hey, Clay died. He committed suicide." And I was shocked. Like I literally dropped my phone. Like, there's no way. Like, stop. Like, come on. There's no way. You're lying. Like, I honestly couldn't believe it. And immediately, like, it went to like, oh my God. Like, could we have done something different? Could we have been there more?
I didn't believe it. I was like, there's no way Clay could do this. There's no way that he did this. You know, looking up to him as an older brother and seeing how physically, mentally strong he was to me, I'm like, there's absolutely no way. Like, everything was so good. We had a good family. We just came back from the mall. And now, after this, everything is gonna be different for the rest of our lives.
The biggest question people ask is why? Why did he do this? He had so much to live for. Everyone always wants that answer. There are no answers. And if Clay was standing right here and he got up here and told you, this is why I did it, I want you all to know why, it wouldn't change the fact that he's still gone. It wouldn't change the fact.
The funeral was really, really, really hard. That was probably the hardest part about it all, was just, it really hit at that moment, like, man, like, Clay's gone. Like, Clay's not gonna be there. I can't pick up the phone and call him, and I think that was the hardest part. After Clay died, I decided to get a tattoo. It's the Bible verse, Psalm 23:4, even though as I walk through the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. It was his favorite Bible verse, so it's basically Clay walking through a valley. I kind of spun it off, and the number 44 is in there, which was his sports number. He was one of my closest friends, and to this day, I always look down and remember, like, hey, you gotta make sure everybody's good. You gotta check in on everybody. You gotta treat people the right way. And just when I look down at it, I remember him, and that's, something I never wanna lose sight of. If I'm ever feeling down or feeling sorry, I look down and like, hey, my guy's with me, like, it's all good.
We are so proud of how many people you touched and how many people you helped. Most of all, we are so proud of how you made us all feel. We are all celebrating you today, Clay Bay. We all love you and always will. I love you, my Clay. Mom.
Welcome to beautiful Rockville.
Is that him? He shaved, right?
Yeah, it looks like he had a haircut. We've known Gavin since just a little guy, and to watch him come to this, and Clay always said, like, one day we're gonna be sitting in these bleachers watching him play. And so to be here again on this day, on a Mother's Day, and actually watching him play means more than I can even express. Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. Are you good? Are you good?
I'm great. How are you?
Yes.
Awesome. Obviously, on those days, all you can do is think about Clay. We comfort each other on those certain times where it's hard for both of us, especially her, and anytime I can be there for her, I feel like it's the right thing to do.
It's sad that, Clay can't be here to be able to see it, but, Gavin says that he feels Clay with him all the time, and I know that me and our family, he's always with us. He's always showing up in some way, and it's awesome to be able to see Gavin out there living his dream and knowing that Clay's out there with him. I love you so much, Gav.
I love you. Thank you for coming.
I love you. I love that he's with you on every field.
All the time. All the time.
The next few days after June 21st were difficult. Felicia was with us, but she wasn't. She was in, I would say, extended shock.
First couple of days, I felt like I couldn't breathe. I didn't really even speak too much. I just remember feeling like I had an elephant on my chest and that it wasn't happening and he was gonna come home.
From June 21st, she was at rock bottom. The strength it took her, that I saw progress, that she built in her through those coming months, it was nothing more than inspiring.
After Clay died, I wanted to speak to other youth. And so the first thing I did was I actually went and talked to his own football team. I thought it was very important for kids to be able to see me be okay, even though we were still grieving, obviously, but I wanted them to hear from me to go out there and still play. And then that kind of just developed into, I want to speak more, and I want to speak to what happened. But you're the reason why I'm here, okay? I knew from the very beginning after I found Clay that I was gonna talk to kids, because I was gonna do everything in my God-given talent, ability, strengthen him to come talk to you guys so that you never go down the road that Clay went down. I remember right after Clay died, my chief had come over to the house. I remember standing in my kitchen telling him that I couldn't be a cop anymore. He's like, no, you're just gonna take some time. I really took that time to figure out what is important to me. I wanted to do work that was meaningful, because you bury a kid, you want to help people. So I had this little dream.
During the time Felicia was off, our present chief, Chief John Morrissey, wanted to start a program of peer support at police departments. It was kind of his mission.
Kenosha PD hadn't suffered a suicide that I knew of, and then I had 2 officers within 5 months take their own life. So my mission had changed. I needed to make sure it never happened again.
We had a peer support team, and I was a detective at the time, and I was running this team. So I went to the chief and said, hey, I have this dream. What if this became a full-time position for me? And I have all these ideas that I think we could turn this into, and it could be a model, like around the state maybe even.
She decided maybe we should have somebody to help the officers. So we created this peer coordinator position.
Hi. Hey, how are you? How are you? If there is a Felicia and a Joe and they have a Clay that's going through a rough time, this is exactly what peer support does. We can offer, hey, this is who we would use. Talk to me about what you're going through. that's exactly it. It's to help that next person that's gonna go through it, because there's always gonna be a next person. Hi. Good to see you.
I could probably name 5 officers right now that I know are alive because of Felicia and the peer team. And I think it's changed many, many, many other lives. She took her tragedy, she uses that and gets people to understand the why, the how. The biggest thing is to help people, don't blame yourself.
Felicia has created a program that has served as the model for communities throughout the state. And so I'm proud to present you with this Hometown Hero Award for the First Responder of the Year.
We've saved lives. You take that phone call, you know, somebody's not doing well. Later we find out that they were very close to taking their own life and they didn't. It's so good. Clay's life mattered.
Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought, when Clay died, that I would have a room full of people with so much love giving back to us. I just can't even believe it. So I'm just so thankful so much.
We started the Clay Davison Legacy Scholarship Fund. And what it is, it's for anybody that lives in our area can apply, and it's for anyone that wants to go to school to do something in mental health.
Hi. So good to see you.
This is Sammy. She is our first Clay Davison Scholarship winner.
It feels good to be supported by you guys, you know.
Yeah.
It helps drive me. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You'll have to like send me a graduation when you're gonna graduate.
Right, yeah.
That would be amazing. Just to kind of.
She made the most out of the situation, and she started the scholarship fund, and she's talking about it, and she's checking in on me. Pretty much, it seems like every week she's checking in on all of us just to make sure everybody's okay. And what she's doing now, I think, she's the strongest woman I've ever met in my entire life.
So, from the very beginning after Clay died, I knew that I wanted to live my life like an open book. Because I felt like if I don't share my story, who will? And if I don't talk about these things with mental health and suicide, who will? And I was not going to have my family or my friends or Clay's name be complete in shame or secrecy. Because shame.
I am absolutely proud of her. I probably should tell her more, but she is doing so much good from Clay's life.
Some of you know this, some of you don't, so I'm gonna let you in on a little surprise, but today is Clay's 22nd birthday. And so
I always knew that Clay had like a calling on his life and that his life was gonna save thousands. I just thought it was gonna be in a different way because I thought he was gonna be the speaker or be the athlete or whatever it was gonna be for him to touch everyone's life. And it just changed. And so when he died, I knew that I was going to share him as much as possible.
happy birthday, Clay.
I think she's understanding that she is special. She has that thing that Clay had, that special thing that Clay had, and she's using it to benefit other people. And I can't be more proud of her, of the work she's done.
Out on the sea, we'd be forgiven. Our bodies stop, the spirit living.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Somebody's child, no mother made you. It's not what you stole, it's what they gave you.
June 21st doesn't define him at all. Absolutely not. And I want people to remember him, how he was as a friend, as a brother, of how loyal he was, how caring he was.
What is it, Skylar?
What I want people to take away from Clay's story is that one moment doesn't define who you are. Clay had so many other qualities and experiences.
Would you rather go and win? The heart is full, now it's spilling. Barreling down the stairs, only a
I ain't never seen something this big. She was so big.
It's probably not talked about enough, but I feel like sharing the story is hopefully going to help a lot of people go through it. And obviously it's a private part of my life, but you know, the more people talk about it, the better.
There is a million things, so this isn't like the one thing that I would say to him. Because I say it all the time, but I'm so proud of who he was.
If there's something that I could tell him is that I wish he was here. I know he's always with us, but I wish he was here.
shadows bend and suddenly the world becomes and swallows
He showed us in his 16 years what living really meant. This is why we'll go. We'll go and we're gonna celebrate, you know, anytime we can when they're all doing wonderful things and we all are helping people when we see them struggle because of what Clay showed us. Clay taught us how to live because he lived. He lived every single day, and I never want to let him down and not live. I will live every day.
He sees her. He sees the things that she has done, and there's no doubt in my mind, not only is he watching, but he is definitely taken an active role in supporting her, giving her the strength, getting her to who she become.
I do get asked a lot of, you know, how do you stay strong or positive or, I don't know, it's Clay. Maybe it's just Clay, like, he won't let me be anything else.
Let me go by you.
Say bye-bye to the camera, Clay.
Bye-bye, camera.
I love you.